Hey YouTube, it's Cloachy Bogmarsh here. I'm gonna let y'all look at my ugly mug again today. So I did go out and get a book, and I've been reading it, but I just stopped to take a little bit of a break real quick because it was like it's working my brain in a way that's like, yeah. But I want to talk to you about something real fast. I'll go ahead and admit I don't have all the answers. I don't think I will ever have all the answers. But, I find it really strange that, I start talking about time and everything like that. And, if you can control the past, you can control the future. And if you can control the future, then you can control the present. Okay, yeah, my door's open back there. It's warmer outside than it is in my house. It's crazy. Okay, but it's really weird. So I posted that video the other day talking about how, Vortex Math is, they reverse engineered that shit. And that's, part of what the Freemasons have done and everything like that. It's really strange. Okay, and you'll find, I don't believe in coincidences. And it's funny that I've been talking about, controlling the future and the present and past and blah, 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 blah. But I was literally in here drawing the Freemason symbol that I presented to you that afternoon. Drawing the Freemason symbol. And had forgotten, I thought it was canceled, but they showed up anyway. That I was going to have a realtor come and look at my house because I'm in short sale and I'm trying to get rid of this house. And this realtor, it should clearly state the home is occupied. And the reason that you want to have a notice or give me a notice is because I have two very large dogs. There's one, and then there's another one laying right there. Two very large dogs, people. Very large dogs, okay? They freak people out. They've already freaked out some realtors and shit like that. Well, literally while I was drawing that Freemason symbol, because I was told that appointment was canceled. Canceled. This lady shows up to my house, and she's trying to get the screen door to unlock and open and blah, 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 blah. Not one time does she knock or anything, to the point where my dog, I was like looking at the door and they were looking at the door like, what is happening here? Because it moves sometimes when the wind's going. So they finally got up and went and checked the door. Sure enough, there was this lady at the door. They're barking, and I know there's a person at the door. And she's steadily still trying to open my door. She hasn't stopped trying to open my door. She hasn't stopped trying to fucking nothing. Hasn't knocked. So I pulled my gun out, and I put my gun right in her face when I pulled the curtain back to see who it was. She didn't even flinch. Did not even flinch. I didn't know anything about this lady at the moment. So she was like, okay, I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. Let me go check, make sure that they're still on their way. And I was like, if you want, make a phone call and you can come in if you want, because it's kind of cold outside. And it was a little warmer in the house by then. And she's like, well, what are you doing in here? And I'm all just talking to this lady, trying to be nice, the nice homeowner that still lives in the house, that's absolutely disgusting, that she's trying to show, and yeah, okay? So I'm talking to her about how, this Vortex Math stuff that I've been figuring out, and how I'm finding, like, correlations between the Masons and it. Sure enough, you know what she tells me? Sure as plain as day. Oh, my grandfather's a Mason. So I'm literally talking to the granddaughter of a high Mason in my home while I'm drawing a Masonic symbol and trying to explain to the world how we're all being controlled. Sure enough, she shows up. And then it gets even better, all right? Gets even better. So the two people show up, and there's a husband and a wife, and the wife and the realtor lady are kind of looking around a little bit. And the husband, he's taking some measurements and checking some stuff and looking at some things. And I was telling him how I thought it was so weird that, the sinks, shut-off valves in the kitchen sink were so high that they get the hose attachment gets stuck on them, and it's broken it, and it doesn't sit like it's supposed to, and it keeps getting hung up and all that kind of stuff, And I was telling them that I hadn't run the furnace this year at all this winter, and it worked last year and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, it was real cold last night, so, I got up and I checked the pipes and everything seemed to be okay, blah, 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 blah. Now, granted, the kitchen sink is on the outside wall and everything like that. But the very next day, so Wednesday, okay, Wednesday, I'll use quotations there because, yeah. So Wednesday, I wake up, I go upstairs, go to the bathroom, just like pretty much any other normal day. Toilet flushes just fine. I check the sink works. Check the shower works. I don't see any wetness. Nothing. Sure enough, my fucking kitchen faucet was frozen. But none of the other pipes were frozen. And you know what busted? The fucking hose that I was talking to that man about. Don't you find that weird? Don't you? It's pretty strange, isn't it? Start talking about space and time and how we're being controlled and blah, blah, blah. And like, literally I'm talking about things and the very next day I have issues with that. Isn't that weird? Alright. And then today, I was doing some reading about some stuff yesterday, and I had this whole section go missing. I think I said something about that. Well, I got my ass up, getting ready to go down to the library, because it's only like 4 or 5 blocks away, so I just walked down there. It's still kind of cold in Dayton. So I put my Carhartts on, my coveralls, okay? Actually, my bibs, if you want to be correct. And here's the strange thing. This is the second pair of bibs that I've owned. Alright, the first ones weren't Carhartts. Sorry about that. The first ones weren't Carhartts, okay? And like I said, I got 2 large dogs. There's one right there. And then there's another one over there at the door. See how? Yeah, they're big dogs. They're big dogs. I've been constantly trying to figure out how people are getting in and people are getting in and people are getting in because I keep having all these weird things happen to me in the middle of the night. And they're fucking loud. I mean, my brother lived with me for a little while. My older brother, one that they haven't really seen that much in their life. When I was cleaning beer systems, so I had like weird schedules, and sometimes I had to be awake at like midnight, so I'd go to bed at like 7 and get a couple hours of sleep and be, at work by 1 or 1:30 in the morning. That's AM, people. Alright? And they would fucking go batshit ballistic. Or sometimes if the wind gets going too hard in the middle of the night, they'll start barking and stuff like that. Okay, so this morning, it was actually like 1:30 or 2, whatever. It don't matter to me. It's still daylight. But I went to put my fucking coveralls on. And anybody that's ever worn coveralls or bibs that have the zippers on the side and the buttons and shit, when you take them things off, what is the point in zipping them back up, let alone zipping them up and rebuttoning them? But I got ready to put my fucking coveralls on this morning, and both legs had been zipped up and all of the buttons were snapped except for the one at the very bottom, which I don't button the one at the very, very bottom. So there's 4 buttons and I only button 3 of them. Only 3. So explain that to me, people, that I wasn't even disturbed, okay? And it's like my bed's like in the middle of the fucking living room. Like the exact middle of the fucking living room, because I just sleep in the living room to keep as much heat in here as possible. Explain to me how the wind can wake me up. Hell, my little brother stays over here and can't even walk up and down the stairs to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night without that waking me up. Cars driving by at night wake me up. But somehow someone magically makes it into my home in the middle of the night and proceeds to zip the legs up on my Carhartts and then button the buttons. What is the point of me doing that? Because I'm just going to have to unbutton them and unzip them to put them on. Explain that weird ass shit to me, folks. Seriously. Is that not any inkling of indication that what I'm saying has some type of fucking truth to it, and that you don't want to believe me? That alone. I said that shit to the guy at the fucking library, and I swear to God, his fucking hand started shaking. Especially because we were talking about ancient Samaria and the Anunnaki and all that kind of shit. Okay? Which, he's a smart guy. He works for a library. He has some type of inkling of an idea of what I'm talking about. You know? And I've been talking about all this time and space and fucking how we're being controlled and all that kind of shit. And the ancient Sumerians, they were the ones that fucking pretty much built time and the clock and the fucking, month system and how we do everything right now. They built all that shit. They had an understanding of the universe, apparently, and I'm still studying a little bit, but I've heard some stuff here and there, and I'm putting it all together. And that kind of nonsense, wake up and have that happen? No, sir. And my dogs were sleeping on the bed with me. And my big boy over there, the one's fucking laying down like they're fucking looking away, he sleeps under the blankets with me. So when he gets out from under the blankets because he gets too fucking hot, he pulls the blankets off of me so I get fucking cold. Boom. I'm awake. Think about this shit, people. I'm not as crazy as y'all are trying to let me on to be. Like, you don't understand. Like, I thought it was the city, and it may be the city initially and stuff like that, but there are too many weird coincidences happening since I've been talking about this that don't make any fucking sense. Alright, people? I want y'all to think about that. Get back to me. Talk with me about this. I stand with y'all. I know I'm calling people cowards and stuff like that, but I'm trying to light a fire under your ass because what's fucking happening around us is intentional, and y'all don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. And I'm not a master of this subject or anything like that, but when you dream about shit like this, alright, and you wake up with this weird shit happening all the fucking time, you'd get it. You might start to understand it. So, like I said, this is Cloachy Bogmarsh, and I'm out.